everyone. Welcome to another super duper exciting episode of On This Table. On This Table is a show where we'll bring you issues confronting life and the world at large, and of course, bring possible solutions to these life issues. Let's go on this quick break. When I come back, the conversation will kick off. Welcome back. So, like I said, On This Table is a show where we bring you issues confronting life. So, we have something really very interesting to talk about today. And of course, as usual, I have a guest in the house to help me analyze this. So, I'm going to be asking my guest a very interesting question. I'm sure we're going to have a very wonderful conversation. Well, welcome, Mr. Collins Alazie, to the show.
It's a pleasure.
I like this energy. It means we are going to see enough basketballs right now on the show.
I'm ready to give it to you.
Okay, we're ready to take it. Okay, so we're going to be talking about SPEC.
All right.
Okay. I'm sure SPEC alone in your head, you already know what's up.
Yeah, you know now.
Okay, so my first question is, okay, let's start with you. Who is your SPEC?
Who is my SPEC? Yeah. As it is, it depends on the area. Is it in the area of car, house, or whichever?
For a lady, because this conversation now, we're going to narrow it down to a woman. Okay,
the opposite sex.
The opposite sex. So tell me, for a woman, I mean, what's that thing that when you see that woman and she has everything, you be like, this woman, am I kind of woman?
Man, you know. What I love what the eyes could behold.
Okay.
Yeah. So I like my SPEC is that, you know, pretty, curvy, busted lady.
Okay.
Those are my SPEC.
Okay, now so this SPEC thing now, you know that as one grows older, what you desire changes. So you've grown older. Is it the same thing?
Yeah, it's still the same. It has never changed.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. So now my question is, why is it that most guys they do not end up marrying their SPEC?
Yeah, because the word SPEC means specifications, and to give it another another synonym, features. You know, so it is more of a physical thing, physical features. So, but when it comes to marriage, life on its own is a project. And since life is a project, for instance, and you are the project manager yourself. So you have been given an opportunity to pick the best hand to assist you fulfill that project. It will be would I say, stupid, you know, for your choice to be outward, you know, features. You will be looking at qualities and values and mental abilities, some other abilities that could help, that this person should possess in order to help you fulfill, you know, your task or what you as a man wants to achieve. So choosing a wife goes beyond physical features. So am I saying those that have good physical features cannot have good qualities? No, I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is that when it comes to the area of marriage, why it happens, that you look at other values, qualities, and those values, if those values are values that will help you achieve your goals and dreams, that's the reason why you see a lot of guys at the end of the day. Yes, no matter what your SPEC might have been, but when it comes down to the area of marriage, you find yourself totally outside your SPEC. Why? Because the individual you have at hand has the quality that you need to have you achieve your goal, but might not meet up to SPEC. So you leave the SPEC at 10 first, succeed first.
I mean, okay, now people say that the reason why men cheat is because they do not end up marrying their SPEC. Now, for you, do you think it's true?
Partly in the sense that, you know, like I said, life is a project, but we know all work and no play makes that a dull boy.
Yeah.
Yes, you have as a wife the real, you know, this is a you know, ideal personnel to succeed, but doesn't meet up those specs, you know. So most times you could tend to see somebody that meet up this those spec, but at the same time doesn't have the the qualities
Of a wife.
of a wife. So whenever you want to catch a breath, sometimes you see yourself tilt
To that person.
to that person. But after then, you focus on your goal. So those are just what would I call it, side attractions. Those are what they are.
Okay. So when you were young, did you fantasize about the kind of woman that you were going to be with?
Yes, I did. I did.
Okay. So can you describe the kind of woman you thought of being with?
Oh yeah, man. Man, I don't want to say, my wife watching this episode. So in order to have a calm,
She will not hear, don't worry.
No. She's going to look for it. So let's just leave that story. Those parts for now.
I mean, but I'm sure everybody fantasizes about something. Like me, while I was young, I wanted to have a tall guy, with kind of this kind of very charming beard, and then
like Osama bin Laden.
But as I grew older, I realized that physical appearance wasn't even what really mattered.
Okay, let me just help you, John. Honestly, while growing up, I was always looking at, my kind of lady is of the average height. I don't like tall ladies. Same time, I don't like the short ones, too short ones. So of the average height, fair in complexion, curvy, endowed on the upper section, at the same time intelligent. The list go on and on and on. But as I grew older, I found out that it's hard to see all those physical features. For one, possessing everything is challenging. So I'm down to the reality today. I know what life is all about. It is beyond those physical specs or values or features.
Okay, so for most men, when it comes to spec, it's more about the physical appearance.
And that is what it is. Look, how do I put it? Growing up, you are a child. You talk like a child, you think like a child.
Of course, yeah.
So you don't know more about life. You know very little about life. So most times you are just after what you can see, but you are not informed or knowledgeable about what life is all about. That life goes beyond what you see.
Yeah.
So most times that's why when you talk about spec, it's always what you could behold. That lady is fine. That lady is this. That lady is that. That is what it is.
So while you were younger, or did you date somebody that wasn't that didn't fit to your description?
Yes. It happened.
Okay. So while you were with this person, did you still fantasize about some other woman, her kind of?
Of course, yes, I did. So I was just telling myself, man, this is a learning ground for the main
Okay,
thing. That was what I was telling myself. This is a learning, because I know this is not my spec.
Okay.
So, but as time went on, the more I got mature, the more I found out that life, you get fond of people not because they meet up to
your standard.
Well, you just grow to love people for who they are.
Okay, so I'm going to understand you now that this spec thing, it has to do with maturity, because as you grow older, your desires change.
Yeah.
It becomes something else. So it means that while you were young and you were fantasizing about maybe a curvy woman or a woman that is so endowed, it was because you were not mature enough.
Yes, I was not knowledgeable enough. So that kept on. But the more I grew, the more my taste
changed
and values of life changed.
Okay, so also did experience contribute to you changing your specifications?
Yes, it did. In the sense that, look at it this way. As I got older, I found out that you see all those physical features that I would desire. I'm not the only person that wants it. You have other guys too that wants the same thing. So somehow, nobody taught me. I have a belief that a lady's love or attention is something that you don't fight for. It should come naturally.
Naturally, yeah.
So if it couldn't come naturally, let it be. Because you are heading for a heartbreak. I just knew that. So I knew that all these features are the same thing every other man, a majority of the men want. So you are going to be fighting for an attention over the same person, somebody else. A million other men are asking for. So I'm not that. I have a lot to do with my time, my life.
So did money also contribute to you changing your orientation about your specifications?
Oh yes, big time. It did. In the sense that, why, the first question you say, why do men end up marrying
people who are not their
who
spec?
are not their spec? See, when you have a project at hand and you have to pick, a partner to assist you, you begin to look at qualities that the partner have that you don't have. So, the qualities if you are self-sufficient, it will change your test. Well, probably what you might need now is just a messenger, that meets other, But when you are not self-sufficient, look for somebody that is self-sufficient, and the person that could, somebody that could complement those areas that you are not self-sufficient. So, if the person comes, the person might not have all those other physical features, but you know that in order to succeed, this is the value you want, the quality you want. So you go by it. But if you had everything you want, you are self-sufficient, didn't need to change your value. You go on with your test.
Okay, I'm really enjoying this conversation. Let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back.
Kingsprimetv, your one-stop entertainment platform for live sport, news, top-notch Nollywood movies. Please log on to www.kingsprimetv.com or download our app from the Google Play Store or iOS to get entertainment just the way you like it.
Okay, so money is also a contributing factor.
Major.
Okay, now because I'm really going to agree with you. You know that just like they say, most big woman, they had to maintain. For instance, maybe she just came out of a surgery to enlarge her body. And then she needs more money to, add up to it. And then you don't have money. Means your spec will just change automatically. You now go for the ones that are really okay the way they are.
A professor, one funny professor, once gave a definition for complete and finish. He says that if you marry a troublesome wife, a good wife, that you are complete. If you marry a troublesome one, you are finished. But if you marry a troublesome one that loves to shopping, that you are completely finished.
So you have to decide which one you want. Is it complete or finished or completely
finished? So it depends whether you are going for the one that will make you complete or that you are finished, the one that will finish you, or the one that will completely finish you. So it's up to you.
Okay, so I'm wondering, having a spec, doesn't it make it discriminatory? Like, why do you have to discriminate somebody who isn't curvy?
Let me ask you a question. Do you eat frog?
No.
Why?
Yuck.
But do you know there are some part of Asia that eat frog?
Yes, I know.
For the fact that you chose that you don't want to eat frog, does that make you discriminate? Is that discrimination?
Well, not exactly.
That is the way it is in life too.
Okay.
Having a spec doesn't exactly mean that you are discriminating, but it's just that it gives you a direction and a definition of what you want.
But you know that there are some people that that do not fit into your own specification, and then they'll feel that you don't like me because I'm not curvy. They feel that you hate them completely. You don't like them. You don't like them for who they are.
Look, you could have a friend, a female, an opposite sex, that is, a friend, very good friend. Both of you get along well. But when it comes to the area of marriage or intimacy, it doesn't fit. So because of that, you are not up to it. You don't even, when you think of that area, you don't think of her at all. So, but it's your best friend. Despite being an opposite, it's still your best friend. So, do you see why I say for you having a spec doesn't really mean you are discriminating?
But is it you wanting too much from someone?
Oh, no, it is not you wanting too much. Just that you just defined what you want. Because when you cannot define what you want, you are open for anything you see. So you just have to have a spec. This and this and this and this. These are what I want. So you know what to look out for. You are not just open for anything.
Okay. So now that you have grown old, I'm sure that you have things that you have before you got married. I'm sure that there were things you really looked out for. So can you mention those three things you changed, those three things that really changed your orientation about?
Now that I'm old, the things I looked out for. Number one, I look for a God-fearing lady. Number two, somebody that is hardworking. Number three, somebody that is intelligent. Those are the three major features I looked out for. So you now see that it didn't say much of the physical.
Physical, yeah.
But before then, it was more of the physical.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's just a kind of a mental shift. My ideology is metamorphosed with time.
But what prompted you to change your ideologies about women?
I grew up.
Did you have an experience or something?
No. I grew up and life experience from other people. I came to understand that most times, that's those ideal lady that has all those qualities you want. Most times they only exist in your head, not physically. So if you are bent on looking for this spec, this, that, you are in for a long time. You are in for a long, and you might end up not having it. You grow old.
Okay. So did you end up marrying your spec?
That's a big question. I can't just.
So now it doesn't matter if she was what you fantasize about, or what you as you grew older, the specifications, your ideologies now changed to something. So did you end up marrying her, whether she was the kind of person you fantasized about, or the kind of person your own maturity?
I married my wife from the maturity point of view, not from my world of fantasy. I didn't do that.
Okay. So what is your advice generally to people who are, because whether you like it or not, there are some people who are still stuck in that mentality that, okay, my wife has to be very curvy, she has to be dark, she has to be fair in complexion, she has to be this thing. I mean, what advice do you have to give to those men?
The advice I have to give to them is that, man, grow up. You need to grow up. When you grow up, life is beyond what you see. And remember my earlier joke that if you marry a good wife, you are complete.
You're complete.
Then if you marry a bad one,
you're finished.
Because looking at your the outward features, you are finished. And if you marry the one that loves to shop, you are completely finished.
Yeah.
So those are my words for you. Don't be completely finished based on your choices and specs that you are demanding.
So let's talk about the high rate of divorce right now in the society. Will you say that this spec thing is a contributing factor?
Yeah, it's a major one. Because look, marriage is a life for a life thing.
For life.
It's a life project. It's not something you could just wake up and like in a relationship. Look, I don't like the lady. She snores too much. She talks too much, or she snores a lot when she sleeps. I don't want. No, this is a life project. So perhaps your concern was about the spec, the physical attributes, and you got the physical attribute. But as life goes on, you now find out that you needed help, and those physical attributes are not taking you anywhere. man, it's just a matter of time. Frustration will set in. And once a man begin to feel frustrated, look, some of them will tell you, I don't have to die because I made a mistake. Let's call it a quit. That's it. It contributes a lot. And for the lady, maybe all the while you were flaunting your assets. Now the chips are down. What it takes to sustain a marriage or a home is beyond those things we are flaunting. They have no contribution to the marriage, to the life project. They have nothing. And you know, those features depreciate with time, with age. So when those things are depreciating, or perhaps as life demand, the pressures of life are coming in, the man is no longer concerned about those things, and you have nothing to offer. You're a liability. Without those features, you're just nothing but a liability. That's why some men will prefer to marry who is going to assist them. Then whenever they have spare time, they can look at your type. If they have. And when they are done, you carry your assets to whoever you want to sell to, and they focus on it with their life.
Okay. Wow. That's funny. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to imagine it like,
Yeah,
okay.
As bitter as it sounds, that's the truth.
That's really the truth. Which means everybody should bring something to the table.
That is what it is. Marriage, life is a project. So marriage is an avenue where you get somebody that will assist you or help you if you accomplish your project. According to those that are Christians, if you're a Christian, you're a believer, it says the word of God says that God said it is not good for the man to be alone. I'll get him a helper, a helpmate. So a helper, you came to help. That's why I said earlier that, look, if I had everything I wanted, probably I just want somebody to warm my bed. Then I wouldn't have changed my
your specifications.
Yes, I wouldn't have changed. All I need is just somebody that has a physical that could, tickle my fancy, that I want to go to bed always. But outside that, if I have everything I want, that I'll be left. But when you know you don't have it, look for somebody that will assist you, somebody that could help you. That's what life is all about. So, but when you don't have anything to offer, sorry, other than those physical features, because they are going to fade away. They are going to depreciate. Even if they don't depreciate, life could give a man a certain dose of the unexpected that overwhelm him, that he wouldn't even think of those features. He will not be looking for who can help me out. You have nothing to offer.
Okay, so do you think that these celebrities now, they have a major role to play in the way they impact, in whatever they impact into the younger ones? Because now, what is draining for most of these these celebrities is most of them go for surgeries. They try to enhance their bodies, and then they make people with the audience feel that, see, this is what we give you, the best life you want. This type of body is what a man is looking for, or this type of body is what a woman is looking for. So that orientation, I mean, will you say that the celebrities are even the ones giving people that orientation?
Look, let me tell you something. When you are into entertainment industry, your body is your asset. It makes you marketable. I can't blame them. So you have to keep your assets intact, in order to be marketable always. For instance, if you're a man in the entertainment industry, look, you have to keep fit. Don't, the more you grow pot belly, very soon there are some sections that you will not be needed. No matter how good you are, the demand for your service will be reduced. So in order to be at the top of your game, you have to put your body in shape. So for instance, what I do today, look, I don't have time for gym. When I wake up, I'm off. I have a lot. I have a lot to do. So I don't think of gym. So tomorrow you could see me have pot belly. It's not a concern so long as the body, I'm still getting my asset, things that are giving me my income and so on and so forth, are producing. I don't have a problem. So, but to the man in the entertainment industry, it is his body. So you have to keep it in shape. So, but the point is this, that children, you can't really, it's just a dilemma of life. Because today, when it comes to child upbringing, both the parents are contributing, the television, what they see there is
because
contribution.
For me, I think that this SPEC thing originated from we were kids, but I think it originated from what we saw while we were young on TV.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. When in bringing up a child, the parents are contributing. Their television is contributing. So it depends on who contributes more. So that will not shape the child's ideologies of life. So you can't really blame the celebrities, like as you said. You can't blame them. Those are their assets. Their body is their face. So even if it is getting out of shape, if they have the resources to surgically put it in shape, they do. Because they want to remain at the top of their game, to be valuable. So, but to somebody out there, you should know, you should grow up and know that life is not what you see on the TV. Ask yourself, most of those celebrities, they die in their movie. So who wants to die? So you just have to grow up.
Of course.
Who wants to die in the movie? And ask yourself, that celebrity today, he was acting as a parent. Tomorrow he's acting as a gigolo. The next one is acting as a child, somebody's son. So those things are not, you have to grow up and let them educate your children, know that these things are not consistent with life. They just want to, they are making they are just making their money.
So which means parents should also limit their children from watching such things.
Yes, well, not just limit them, educate them. Let them, as they are watching, educate and engage your children. Let them talk, because it is when, if you want to know if a man, or let the person talk. When the person talks, you know where he is in the mind and where he is in his mind, and you know where to contribute. So, but if you are the type of parents that you don't engage them, you really cannot tell where they are. So you wouldn't know where to contribute or where to make amends.
Okay, so finally, what are your last words? I mean, for young people and for parents.
For young people, look, what you watch on the TV will kill you. So you just have to grow up. Know that this is acting. They call it acting. They are acting. It's not real life. So, and for parents, you just have to engage your children. Know who they are. So when you know who they are, you can know where to do your parent, where to focus on your parenting more. Those are the things I have to say.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, I don't know. You know, there's a way you have a conversation with somebody, and then you have learned so much. You have really acquired so much in terms of knowledge, and then you're just dumbfounded. You don't even know what to say again.
Really?
I like, wow! I need to have more of you right now. Thank you so much for coming. All right, guys, let's go on this quick break. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. This is the Know Me segment. Well, are you ready? Okay, my first question is, can you remember when you stopped bedwetting?
I'm thinking.
Did you stop bedwetting as an adult?
No.
As an adolescent?
Yeah, I was about 7. Yeah, I was about 7. Because that was the last time. Because I was having these recurring dreams.
Oh, okay.
You know, as a little boy, I played a lot with my mates. So
okay.
I used to have this friend. His name is Peter. Peter Aigomia. You know, we live in the same neighborhood. So when we play, most times towards the rough side, I will say, wait, let me ease myself. So most times in my dream, it reoccurs. And when I will say, well, let me ease myself, and I will be easing myself, and man, it will be so much interesting. I never knew I was just messing up the film. Okay. So you know, it was reoccurring. That's what, as a child, it became disturbing to me. I asked myself, why this reoccurring dream? Why do I always? So know what I do sometimes. When I get up, I shift my sibling and I take dog to another corner.
Oh my goodness!
Quickly change my clothes. But that made me very conscious. It made me break out of it. Struggle to break out of it.
Oh my goodness! But did you tell anybody that after peeing on the bed, you just shift yourself?
How will you, when you want somebody else to take the blame? You just do it and clean. You know?
Okay. So what was the first thing you ever did that you regretted doing as a kid?
Yeah. Yes, I remember. There was this shoemaker. You know, the elderly I had in the neighborhood. They used to have this elderly man. they send you on an errand. So there's this man. He was a customer guy. He was always sending me to go and polish his shoe at the shoe buckler. So then the guy was the shoemaker at the time became my friend. But I said, one day, because I was always having change, you know, on that occasion, he decided to charge high. So I was left with no change. I was so bitter. So he was sipping this gari, cassava flake. So when I came, he ducked it under the table. So, you know, when I was upset, I packed a handful of sand and I poured it into his plate. And he didn't know it. So immediately he was through, I just took the shoe and went off. I knew what it was going to be.
You were really mischievous when you were little.
Man, God saved me.
So what happened the next time he saw you?
Say, Shebi, I denied it. I said, me? I denied it.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you this very quick question. All right, so strawberry or vanilla?
Which one? Let me just say vanilla.
Vanilla.
Because in Nigeria, I don't think we have strawberry.
But they've started growing strawberry. I
Where?
think in the north. I think so.
I've not seen anywhere yet. So I want to make sure I'm not chewing crayon.
But you know, vanilla has strawberry rather has a very nice. It has beautiful colors.
Look, I'm just a strict to the food person. I hardly, except when my wife buys, hardly look for the fruits.
Wow, fruits! You know, fruits are really good.
I know they are.
So what's your favorite fruit?
I just swallow ever.
What's your favorite fruit?
Fruit. Do I have banana? Probably. Because it's just easy for me. Once
As
I
it just, yeah.
peel it and off I go. I might not even need to wash it. Just peel off the
Why? Yes, that is another thing. Why do people not wash their bananas before eating?
Because it has a skin that you have to peel off. So if there was dirt, it will be on the skin. So you peel it off and you eat the main thing.
No, but do you know that sometimes your hand can also touch that the main one that you're eating?
Jesus said, what goes into a man doesn't defile a man. It is what comes out of a man.
Oh my goodness, I'm so fed up right now. I don't know what to think. All right, thank you very much for coming on the show. Okay, you've heard from our guests. I think we all need to grow up. There's no perfect person, right? There's really no perfect person. Okay, and this is where we draw the curtains of this episode of On This Table. On This Table is exclusive to Kingsprimetv. Please do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like, comment, and share this video and other videos. And do not forget to download the Kingsprimetv app. Go to your Google Store or your Apple Store and download the Kingsprimetv app. And you have a 1 month free subscription to watch lots of amazing movies, Nollywood movies, Hollywood movies, Bollywood movies, cartoons, and soccer. All right, until next time, my name is Joy Dixon. Bye.